Today's lesson is all about how to make trousers, but not just how to make trousers. What it is that I'm using a particular pattern, and it's different because I'm showing you how to use patterns that you've already got. Everything that you love and it's worn out, you don't need to throw it away. Just pull it apart and remake it. So here we have the lining for the waistband, and what I'm doing now is pressing a seam along the edge. I've nipped it at the ends and then I just stretch it a little bit so that I can get a nice straight line and it finds itself. So there's a nip at this side and there's a nip that side. So let's go to that nip, stretch it just a little bit and it finds itself. And that's it. So this measures 4 centimeters. Just a little bit over 4 centimeters. It's roughly just over a little bit 4 centimeters, and that's good enough. It's only the inner part of the waistband, which is this section here, which we're replacing. Now each one of these are going to be stitched onto this section here. This section here. So this is the waistband and each one of these are going to be stitched onto it, but before I do that I am going to put some interlining on this. And I've got a little bit of leftover fabric here. I'm going to cut 2 strips and I'm going to make the loops for the belt out of this. Now with the strips here, I am going to iron on my interfacing on both sides. That's so it's going to strengthen it even more tighter. I'm going to put my interfacing on my strip. And I'm going to iron it down. I'm going to close it back up. So that has got that has now got the interlining on it. There we go. Let's concentrate on this. So this is the waistband, and I'm going to do them individually. So let's check this again. As you can see, this is the waistband and it is stitched on top. So first of all, here, this is stitched onto the top bit. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to stitch it, this bit here onto the top, and then we're going to top stitch it because that's what they've done here. Right, so I'm going to take this away to my machine and I'm going to stitch one section onto the waistband. Now let's open this up a little bit more, have a good look to remind myself. So what it has done here is that it's gone closer to the edge and it's left a little bit flapping over. So I'll do the same. So I've got, this is really nice and stiff, the waistband is really nice and stiff because it's got the interlining on now. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to stitch it and then I'm going to top stitch it to two of them because they're a pair. I'm just going to bring it down, say roughly that amount, and press it. And the other section goes up. So that is our waistband that is ready to go on one side of the trousers. But before I can put the waistband on, I've got to do the loops to go in between each one of those. So I've got some spare fabric here. I'm just going to cut out some strips and cut the loops for which are these. Now it's overlocked, so I'm going to overlock it and give it two top stitching and do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do 4. I'm going to do 5, just 5, 10, 4, 8. I'm going to do 9, 1 for luck. So I'm going to cut these out and I'm going to stitch them up. So that's a bit too fat. So that is going to be our loop. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to overlock one side of this, and when I overlock it, then I'm going to turn it under and make our loop and do 2 rows of top stitching. Now I've overlocked it and now I'm going to turn it in. I'm going to turn the overlocking in first because that's roughly the width of what I want it to be. Now I'm going to put the other fabric inside. I'm going to stretch it as I go along. And I'm using my eyes to estimate the size of it. Other than that, this is just like 1/4 of an inch. So here is my loops for the belt. And here we have it. There it is. So I'm going to do 2 rows of top stitching in the right colour. Here we have the loop now. This is the loops for the trousers, and each one of the loops are roughly, let's see, goes in that way and bend under the trousers. So each one of the loops are roughly that size. So I'm going to cut them all the same size. So that's, and hopefully I should get 8 or 9 out of this. Oh, that was 8 for 1 trousers. I've got to duplicate it. Alright, I've got to do it again. So 2, 4, 6, 7. So I've got to make some more, so I'll do that now, and at least I'll have it for the trousers. And then I've got to do a lot more for the other 2 pairs of trousers, but at least I'll show you one for the moment. So let me do that all again and get another one for this trousers, and then I'll make this one up, and then I'll get on with the others. But in the meantime, I will mark roughly where they belong. So this one belongs 2 centimeters away, 2 centimeters away from the front of the trousers towards the zip. So if I mark that 2 centimeters and put 1 there, that's where that one goes. And then the other one goes on the top of the pocket. So there's the pocket. So I'll put 1 on top of the pocket. So that's there. The other one goes just, it looks like another 2 centimeters away from the dart. Yep. There's the trousers dart, so 2 centimeters away from it. Am I going the right way though? 2 centimeters away from the dart, which is going that way. No. There's a dart. And this is mirror image. So it's going that way. Right. And then the back of the trousers